Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you guys are from. As usual, today is another going to be another amazing session. Today we have Jon Swardstrom, all the way from California, America. This session has been done live every single month for the last coming to 10 years now. We've brought some of the most exciting speakers from Energic, especially. The who's and who has been featured on this interview. So today we're going to have none other than Jon. I've met Jon quite a couple of times, and yesterday while I was just going through my photo gallery, and I stumbled upon an old video that I did with Jon when I was with him in America, and he is amazing because he is actually the voiceover in Scooby-Doo. Okay, I'm sure not every one of y'all, I'm sure not every one of y'all are in that age category, but if you do, if you know a movie called Scooby-Doo, Jon is actually the voiceover, and I was told not only he's the voiceover, he's also a famous actor. He's also an established author, a world-renowned author, and he also has given talks in all over the world. So he's currently a 6A 7-3, right, Jon?
Yes.
Yes, in Energic, which qualifies him as one of our top leaders. And we're just going to hear from him. So first and foremost, before anything, Jon, I know just now you have just mentioned me, your calendar. I know you are such a busy person, doing so many things. And because of that, thank you so much for spending some time here with us, especially our guys here in Asia, to just share some little bit tips. Maybe some of these things here can change the people's lives right here over in Asia. So thank you so much for doing this with us, Jon. And
You're welcome.
yeah, so we'll like to start. Jon, how was life like before network marketing? Or were you in network marketing all this while?
No. So
Okay.
I actually was doing acting and I been in several TV shows and some movies and I what happened was I started my own marketing company because an actor will
Yeah.
he'll work like 3 or 4 days out of the month and the rest of the time he's looking for jobs. And
Right.
I wanted to have something where I was actually bringing income in. And
Okay.
so I at the time I had my own marketing company and I had some guys working for me and things were pretty good. The only problem was it was door-to-door sales.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've ever did door-to-door sales, but you have to be very self-motivated to get
Yeah.
outside. Have you
Your
ever done
skin
that
has to be
before?
very thick, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then to just knock on doors and businesses where people are like, no, no, and you just got to be like, okay. And but we know what the thing is that the thing that motivated me was I realized I was making $90 an hour,
Okay.
and so when I took all the hours that I worked, that was basically what I averaged. And I
Okay.
knew that if I worked in a neighborhood, for instance, and I didn't get any sales the first 2 hours, that meant that the third hour was going to be huge, and it always was. And
Right.
so it was just a matter of, um, getting out there, putting the time in. And so when I saw this my first presentation was 18 years ago, and
Wow.
my friend called me up and he said, before this, and he said, listen, my wife is drinking this special Kangen water. She's got a lot of body fat loss and she's got a lot more energy. And
Mm.
that was my first introduction. You're on the phone, you're like,
Right.
what? Water? You're like, okay. And then he calls up later on, said that his mother-in-law had severe rheumatoid arthritis, said
Right.
their dogs also had arthritis. The
Wow.
dogs had these tumors on their bodies. And he said within 2.5 weeks, the arthritis was gone and um, uh, the tumors were gone.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? Come on. And then he calls up later on and said that his father-in-law's gray hair was going from gray to black and he lost 30 pounds the first month. And
Wow.
so now I'm just like, what is going on here? This water sounds amazing. And, when you get excited about something, you tell somebody maybe once or twice and then you drop it.
Yep.
My friend actually called me up every other day for 5 weeks about this. So I knew there was something special about it. So I
Okay.
said, I need to see this demonstration. So I went and saw a demonstration. and it was one that Bob Gridelli was doing. I didn't know Bob, and I
Okay.
didn't know Dr. Dave,
Okay.
but Dr. Dave, he's very, very wealthy guy,
Yep.
and he had a very nice house on the
Right.
water in Manhattan Beach.
Right.
And so, I was like, okay, well, let's check this out. And the people were acting a little bit overexcited about this water and saying, "Oh my gosh, have you been drinking the water?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." "Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing." And I'm like, "Okay, this is really weird." And when I saw the demonstration, I was like, "Wow, this is amazing."
Mhm.
And uh and I heard about 20 stories from people with their cancer, their diabetes, their arthritis, things like that. And I went home and I couldn't wait to start drinking the water and trying it out. And within the third week, I started noticing body fat loss, more energy, sleeping better at night, mental clarity, and my knee pain went away, which was the biggest thing. And I realized that four of the 20 stories that I heard at the demonstration were happening to me.
Wow.
So through deductive reasoning, those other 20 stories must be true
Yep.
because four of them were happening that I had went away.
Right.
And so the next day was actually the demonstration because the Saturday I noticed it, and the next day was a demonstration because we're having them on Sunday, and I pulled Bob outside after the demonstration, and I said, "Listen, I want to get one of these machines."
Okay.
And I said, I'm thinking about doing this as a business. And at the time, I had my own marketing company. I
Right.
had my real estate license. I was selling real estate, and I had six properties and investment properties. And I said, listen, I'm thinking about doing this as a business. This sounds pretty fun. It sounds pretty exciting. And because I knew that I felt like everybody was going to have one of these machines in their house
Right.
and I wanted to be on the ground floor or something like that. I like getting on the ground floor of those opportunities. And so I pulled Bob outside,
Okay.
and Bob made over $250,000 his first 6 months, which was like,
Wow.
holy cow.
Crazy.
Yeah. And Bob's really hasn't made more than probably $80,000 in 1 year.
Right.
And he didn't do anything the first month. He was on vacation the first month. And so
Right.
that basically he made all that money in 5 months. And so Bob didn't seem like much of a salesman to me. And he kind of, his country guy talks like this. My name's Bob Gridelli. And so I'm like, I do voice impersonations.
Right.
And so I I said, Bob, listen, I'm thinking about doing this as a business. I said, how many of these machines did you sell personally to make $250,000?
Mhm.
And he looked at me and he goes, I only sold 12 machines personally. And I went, I'm thinking to
Oh,
myself, you gotta be kidding me. That's
it's
it?
crazy.
Yeah, because I thought it might have been like 150 machines.
Right.
And
Right.
I said, well, I'm in then. And
Okay.
so I started sharing the water, started giving it away. The only problem was they
Mm.
kind of didn't, they told me, yeah, just give people water and a
Okay.
DVD
Right.
and no, you
Don't
gotta,
don't even close the sale, right? Don't even ask for the order, right? Just keep on giving water, right?
yeah,
Did you go with that strategy?
I did because I
Okay.
didn't know. I didn't know better. But if I had done it over, I would
Okay.
have I would have did a demonstration at their house
Right.
because on my third demonstration at Bob and Dr. Dave's,
Yes.
I didn't think they did a very good job. And I'm like, these guys don't know what they're doing very well. And I
But they
said,
are
so
still making tons of money, right?
yeah, exactly. So I pulled them before the fourth demonstration. I pulled them aside and I said,
Okay.
hey. I go, why don't you let me do the demonstration? And
Right.
they looked at each other and went, okay. And so I started doing it from then on. But
Okay.
if I did it over, I would have given them a demonstration because the problem is you give people the water and they haven't seen a demonstration, they don't
Yeah.
understand it. If
Yeah.
they don't
And
understand it, they're not going to drink it with purpose. And they're not going to drink it with purpose, they're not going to get results. And if they don't
yes.
get results, they're not going to get a sale.
Right.
So they got to understand it. They got to be wanting to drink it. Like when I saw the demonstration, like, oh wow, I can't wait to start drinking this. And I haven't had a Dasani, an Aquafina. You guys
Mhm.
probably don't have that there, or a Sprite, or any Coke, or any Gatorade in over 18 years since I saw that demonstration. Because I made a vow to myself, I will never have one of those drinks again, and I haven't.
Okay.
So I hit the ground running, and I just was working 50, 60 hours a week as hard as I could.
Wow. So, okay, let me ask you something. So first, you got into Energic by seeing the demo because somebody said the water is good. So were you like more sold on the product as in the how amazing the water is, or are you more sold on the potential that the business can bring with a great product? Which really hit your hot button?
I think it was what the water could do.
Right.
Um, at that time, I had a really I had struggling with my businesses, and
Okay.
that was the time of the housing market crash. And Bob and I talk about it now,
Right.
is that probably one of the worst times in our economy. We
Okay.
were really thriving, and
Yeah.
during that time, I lost five of the six houses that I had because of the housing crash,
Okay.
and my business wasn't doing well. So I was looking for something else too at the
Right.
time. So yeah, I wanted to make money, but it was more exciting about seeing the results of what people were getting. And
Right.
that's one of the nice things about it is I've got a Chinese team,
Right.
and they seeing the leaders, and now with all the testimonies that are coming, and they're just getting so excited because now
Yeah.
they're getting all of these testimonies after the people drinking it 3 or 4 months. It's just
Right.
like, and that gets me excited too.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Now, wow, that's a very fantastic story, guys. Can you hear that? Sometimes you never know. When you are doing a presentation, sometimes you may not need to be the best so that you can attract a John that can even enhance the presentation.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, John, why will you choose? I believe this is currently like your full-time business, right? In Edgic, right? So why would you choose Energic to be your professional career
Well,
instead of maybe real estate or any other thing that you have been doing before?
I think just the proof is in the pudding, seeing what
Okay.
Bob and Cynthia were doing at the time.
Okay.
I think Cynthia was a 682 at the time,
Mm.
and just seeing what they've been able to do and realizing, because I was looking at Bob,
Okay.
and Bob is my favorite person in the business. So I love the guy, and if I sound like I'm making fun of him, it's not because Bob did not seem like much of a sales guy to me. He's the most giving, he's the greatest guy in the business, as you know.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking to myself, if Bob doesn't seem like much of a sales guy and he's making $250,000, I can certainly do that as well. And my whole goal was to become 6A2 and then make money off the overrides and kind of not really do much after that. But it's been so fun. I tell people that I don't feel like I've worked a day in the last 18 years because I've been able to travel all over the world. I stay with the king in Nigeria for 7 days. He
Wow.
flew me to three different cities. I've been asked to teach about Kangen water at two universities in Europe and do a total course on it. And I was going to speak to the president of Afghanistan,
Wow.
and then the war broke out, and I said, I'm not going over there.
You don't want
Uh,
a one-way ticket, huh?
yeah, I got like a red beacon above my head going over there. Um,
Right, right. Yeah.
so,
So
but
so the professional career part is exactly what you are looking at, right?
well, I think it fit me perfectly in that I was in speech and debate in college, and I did a lot of speaking events,
Okay.
and I just like dealing with people and getting to know people, and like traveling,
Right.
and I like that I can work where I want to when I want to. My dad was became a 6A,
Oh,
6A. My younger brother became a 6A2. My mom's a
wow.
6A2-2. So
Whoa.
I started traveling up to Seattle,
Okay.
and I had a really hot team up there. And my mom lives in Seattle, and
Okay.
she's kind of like, I think she's a little jealous. I was spending so much time with this other team and not so much time with her. And then when she got the results and realized that this was an amazing product, then she wanted to start working. And my mom's a natural salesperson, but it just evolved, going up there like basically about once every 6 weeks and working with my team there.
Right, right. Amazing, amazing. Yeah. So this business allows us to travel. Actually, sometimes when you think about it, Bob, I mean John, do you agree with me that sometimes what we do doesn't even sound like a business, right? I mean, when we talk about business in the traditional sense, there's always a lot of commitment like staff, salary, rental, operation, production. But when I call when we call this as a business, it's more like fun, travel, leisure. And we get to do things that people just envy on what we do on stage and things like that. Do you agree on that part?
Yes. So I'll give you a good example.
Yeah.
I have this woman. She lives in Cynthia Briganti's neighborhood. Have
Right.
you been to Cynthia Briganti's
Yeah.
house?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. Her new house, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she lives about 7 houses down. It's a nice gated community.
Okay.
And she called me up and said, "Hey, can you do a demonstration? I got some friends over and it's tomorrow." And I'm just like, "You got it." For this, I knew she was a hot salesperson and that she
Okay.
would be great in the business.
Okay.
She has four retirement centers. She owns four retirement centers. She owns four pet grooming service
Wow.
companies. She's got jewelry business. She has the largest art gallery in Southern California.
Wow.
She's got a couple other businesses too. And so when she said, "Can you do a demonstration for my some of my friends," I said,
Mm.
"Yeah, I'll be right there." And so she would call me up with usually like 2, 3 days notice, sometimes one day. And
Okay.
I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll be," and she lives 2.5 hours away from me. So I
Whoa.
drive down there and it wasn't until the third, and the one time her friend bought the machine and she's bought one for her castle in Switzerland and
Okay.
then one for each of her 16 wineries
Wow.
in France. And then this other one bought five for her place in Switzerland.
Wow.
And I'm not sure where the other ones went, but she had got some great results too. And it wasn't until the fourth demonstration she called me up to go over there, and I get finished with the demonstration, and she's kind of like she's doing one of these, and she goes, "You know, somebody just offered me $6 million for one of my businesses," and she says, "But I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do with the money?" She says, my financial advisor said I can get you 10% on that. And she's like, "But I make more money with the business." She says, um, but I'm making less and less money each year. The margins are keep getting smaller."
Right.
And she says, "And I'm being sued by three of my employees."
Whoa.
And she's like, "You know what? I think I'm gonna start doing this full time." And I'm like, "Yes."
Yes. Jackpot.
Yeah.
Bingo.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Uh,
"Yeah, great." And then she, started seeing checks and stuff.
right.
And now it's to the point where she's selling all of her retirement centers, etc.,
Hmm.
and is starting to do this full time. And
Wow.
the reason I bring that up is kind of answer your question,
Hmm.
is she's got all this overhead, all
Yes.
these employees that are suing her, three employees, and she bought
Crazy.
each one of her centers a Conga machine so they can have really good water. And I did a demonstration so they understand it.
Right.
So, you know, it's kind of interesting how she realized that there's no overhead, there's no
Yeah.
insurance, there's no headaches,
Yes.
all this stuff. And another thing too is I kept inviting Cynthia Briganti to the demonstrations, and and finally Cynthia says, "Oh, I'll be in town." I said, "Great."
Yeah.
So she sits next to Cynthia. Leslie sits next to Cynthia, and
Okay.
Cynthia start during just before the demonstration, and Cynthia says to Leslie,
Uh.
"Hi, Leslie, you're Chinese, right?" She's like, "Yeah." She goes, "Yeah, you like money then, right?"
Chinese people
And
like money.
Leslie's
Yeah.
and Leslie's like, "Who
Yeah.
doesn't?" And she's like, "Yeah, I made $73 million in this business." And Leslie
Wow.
goes, "You made 17 million?" And I go, "No, no." She said
3
73 million.
million. Yeah.
And Leslie just went,
Wow.
"Really?" And she, Cynthia's got all these diamonds on and stuff like
Yeah.
this. And now
LV.
Leslie's like talking to her like, and then afterwards, Leslie says, let's go get some dinner. So I invited
Yeah.
we had about 12 people at dinner and we had dinner. And then Cynthia says, oh, Leslie, you do you like chicken feet? And, and she says, yeah. She goes, why don't you come over to my house tomorrow for dinner? Well, I'll make you chicken feet. My husband makes really good chicken feet. And
Uh,
so went over there for dinner and we just asking questions and stuff like
right,
that. I think that's when she's really roped in. But the thing is that I think the last 2 months we've been seeing all of the testimonies
right,
on what's happening with the group, and that's got her super excited. It's got me really excited. That's always gets me excited seeing the testimonies.
right.
So she's like really, and I mean, Bob said he was in Hong Kong,
Yes,
and she said, "Yeah, I guess the manager said that Leslie's been here. She brought in 10 people." I'm like,
right.
"Wow."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but the manager as well as Bob told me about her name is Leslie, right? Hey John?
oh, did
Oh,
I go?
you froze a while. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, okay. You're okay now.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
okay. Let me open the door here, make sure my reception's clear.
Okay.
Okay.
So everything okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's good.
Okay. So her name is Leslie, right? This
Yeah.
lady from, and she's originally from China, right?
Yeah, I've never met anybody like her. She's
Yeah.
so fun to be with and just we get along like brother and sister and she's
Right.
just such an amazing person.
Right, right. So sometimes you never know because like I've before this I also haven't really been to China, but through a few partners of mine, we connected to somebody. And then I have a massive group right at the southern part of China near to Hong Kong. So this, I mean, sometimes you think about this, what we have here, a lot of people don't understand. Is such a powerful tool for leverage, especially if you are looking for more freedom, for more joy and happiness in your life,
Yeah.
uh, that gets me to asking you. I'm not sure. Do you actually face people that always have a negative connotation of network marketing? And what do you think? Why do they think like that? And how's your response if people come across to you and say that network marketing is a scam? It's a pyramid scheme. Things like that.
Well,
What's your point on this?
let's say, well, I guess then every business in the country is a pyramid scheme because you got the salespeople, you got the sales managers making money off the salespeople, you got
Right.
the district managers making money off the sales managers, you
Yeah.
got the vice president making money off the district managers. It's all a trickle up effect. So I guess every company in the United States is that, or same thing like with real estate. You got
Right.
the salespeople, and then the brokers making, all the money off the salespeople. But the
Right.
thing is, if a salesperson goes and starts his own office, now you're out of luck and now you got competition. With us, we promote that. We want somebody to start their own
Branch
office and
out.
start
Yeah.
building. Yeah. So, and also, network marketing is now a course that they're teaching at Harvard University Business School.
Oh, wow.
So, must not be that bad, you know?
If not, why are they bothering teaching this course in the school, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
and I guess through time if those of us who understand this, we see more millionaires coming out from this industry than any other industry in this planet, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I think if I think the biggest thing is I wouldn't have made all the contacts that I have. I mean, I got a lot of contacts. People tell me, "Man, John, you got so many contacts
Mm,
of people who are just like really big movers and shakers."
right.
I'm working with a guy right now that used to have Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, Wayne
Oh,
Dyer. I don't, do you know those guys?
yeah. Wayne,
Okay.
the late Wayne Dyer, yeah. Deepak Chopra, spiritual gurus.
Yeah.
My
And so
mentor too.
yeah, so these guys all work with my buddy Steven, and Steven's written books with them. He's
Okay,
writing his second book with
right,
Deepak Chopra and right now. And so just some great contacts, it's great people, and it's so fun to be able to I don't think I'd be able to meet these type of people if I was just working a regular job. It's
right.
people who want to introduce me to other people
Right.
and very influential people like, the president of Afghanistan or the king of Nigeria, you
Wow.
know. These are people that are very influential, and it's super cool to meet all these really and I wouldn't have been able to do that with just a regular job.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why a lot of people don't see the power of networking that's so powerful because you never know who you get to know. And I think there's a book written like you are just seven people to the next person, like you are probably seven people from Bill Gates or Elon Musk or Donald Trump. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so amazing. So coming back to this thing about meeting people. So a lot of people, especially in our industry, they say, "Oh, Gary, I ran out of leads. I've nobody to talk to anymore. Those people that I've been in a business for so long, the people that I want to talk to has either bought the machine, doesn't buy it, some has died." What's your
Uh-huh.
what's your what's your way or your strategy to consistently get new leads in your energy business?
Well,
Yeah,
this product is every single business needs this, first of all.
right,
It's not like you're selling a computer or a printer to somebody.
right,
This water I sell to dentist's office, I sell to doctor's offices,
right,
I sell to health clubs, I sell to restaurants, I
right.
sell to carpet cleaners. I got the largest carpet cleaner on the East Coast, bought 18 machines, and he
Wow.
cleans carpets with it.
Right,
And he says he saves $5,000 a month on cleaning costs. His carpets come out cleaner, and he has more customers because he cleans green without chemicals. And
right.
then his dad suffered from a stroke and is
Okay.
having horrible symptoms. So they gave him the water, and all the symptoms went away. So now he wants to open Kangen water stores in all six of his locations.
Cool.
So I think that it's everybody is open to this.
Right.
I think that you just need to find their hot buttons too. And they say facts tell, stories sell.
Yep.
And you just got to find what their hot button is. If it's diabetes, if it's weight loss, you just got to come up with a story that's and a testimony that's going to really relate to them, and that's going to really get them excited. And it's not about the properties in the water, it's about stories. And
Yep.
I guess that's probably why I look back on it now, why I did so well
Mhm.
um, back in back in the when I first started off. I remember sitting on a I was flying from Florida to
Mhm.
Dominican Republic,
Mhm.
and I was waiting to go into the airplane down this long tunnel, and it
Okay.
was just packed with people. And so I said, well, let's try something. So I pretended like I was calling somebody because we're all standing so close.
Mm.
I said, hey, Steve, oh yeah. Hey, remember Bob? Diabetes? Yeah, it's gone. It's gone after 3 gallons of this water. It's absolutely amazing. This water is absolutely phenomenal. Blah, 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 blah.
Ah,
And this woman turns around, about three people in front of me. She's looking at me and she
ah.
goes, excuse me, I got diabetes. I'm like, oh, hey, let me call you back.
So what was that real? Like you called somebody or it was just a show?
Just a show.
Nobody is on the other line. Hey guys, that's $1 million. That's $1 million tip right there, man. When you're in when you're in the airport bus station, do what John do. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you
what
can't
happened to
have.
that lady? What happened to that lady?
Oh, she got a machine. She ended up trying it out. And then when I got on the plane,
Yep.
um, sitting next to me was his husband and wife that were uh, did staffing for nurses for medical facilities. And I'm
Wow.
like, oh, this is great. I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is great. And so I
Okay.
talking to them, talking to them about what they do. And
Yeah.
then they finally turned to me and said,
Eh.
what do you do? And I looked at the seat in front of me and I just go, I help people reverse degenerative disease like cancer and diabetes. Well, how do you do that? Oh man,
What
this
a
phenomenal new medical device from Japan. It's absolutely amazing.
okay. Yeah.
What does it do? I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, if you want, I can give you some information. I can show you a quick little video if you want to see it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I get my computer, I put it
Ah,
down in front of them, and
right.
I only had one little piece of earpiece. So I'm like, oh, how are they going to both listen to this? So I pulled them apart so they're this far away from each other, and one had one in one ear, the other one had the other ear, and they just watched the video for
Okay.
30 minutes. And then it just went blank and they're just
Mm.
staring at this blank screen. So I hit the
Yeah.
next video. And then we were landing and I said, "Hey, I'm doing a demonstration tomorrow at my friend's on the roof of my friend's hotel.
Uh,
If you want to come." And they said, "Yeah, yeah, we'd love to come." And so they came and bought two machines.
Whoa. And that lady that heard you over the phone also bought a
Yeah.
machine. Wow.
So
Amazing.
I think it's about not being pushy and just because people are, oh, I got to tell you about my water. It's great. Blah, 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 blah. And people are like, whoa. But if
Yeah.
you pull them into you and say,
Right.
I help people reverse degenerative disease like cancer and diabetes. Oh, how does that work? Oh, it's this machine from Japan. It's absolutely phenomenal every time it works.
Yeah.
What? Well, I'll tell you what. I can show you a video,
Okay.
maybe, or I can give you. I'll send you a video, or why don't I come to my demonstration? I'm doing it tomorrow night if you guys want to come. It's all. You can't be pushy.
Right.
You got to feed them with breadcrumbs to
Right.
come toward you, as you
Lure
know.
them, right? Like you are luring them, right?
Yeah,
Amazing,
and
amazing.
and
Wow,
it's kind of
wow.
like what I did with Leslie too. Is
Okay.
I was there every 4 times doing demos, and she's just like every single time she's listening to this, getting more and more interested, and
Right.
then she just kind of was like, okay, you know what,
Mm.
maybe I need to be doing this because I do not like, not like my work. So she came on board.
Right. What's the story of Leslie? Because the reason I asked about Leslie was Bob talks a lot about her during dinner when I was with him in Hong Kong 2 weeks ago. So how did she actually come into Enagic? Was it because she had some health issue that she need to rectify, or was it she's so fed up with her business, although she's making money, no freedom? What was it that got her really excited with Enagic?
Well, I got invited to this
Okay.
dinner this billionaire holds for business help and stuff like that, and
Okay.
he's charging like $1,000 a plate, and I kept saying, it's a little much for me. He's like, well, so I finally went and because he charged me like $200, and sitting next to me was this girl Tara, and she does nurse staffing,
Okay.
and I just kind of casually give her information about the water, and she's like, "Oh, this is amazing! This is amazing!" And so I lined up the demonstration. I did it at her office in San Diego,
Okay.
and she said, "My friend Leslie's got to hear about this. I got to call her up right now." So Leslie zoomed over there and
Okay.
throws open the door. Well, what do we got? What do we got? And so I did demonstration, and Leslie was like, this is great. I want to get one."
Uh,
And I think also it's all about service too, because I really bent over backwards. I helped her install under the counter sink unit,
okay.
and did it all for free because then I could spend more time with her, explain it. And then, got some people together at her house, and she
Mm,
did that like 4 or 5 times because she realized, well,
mm.
actually, the reason that her friends bought the machine is because it made their tea taste so good.
Wow.
That was the biggest reason why. Oh, Leslie, you got the best tea. And she said, it's not the tea, it's the water. What? And then you do a little tea bag thing. And they're like, oh, wow, I got to get one of those.
Right. And
So yeah,
especially when you are talking to a Chinese community, right? Tea is
yeah,
like rice to them.
yeah, exactly. It's so
It-
funny because
mm,
now it's like I do about 3 demonstrations a week for them, and
wow.
now to the point where I'm like, okay, you guys need to start doing the demonstration yourself, and start learning it. So it's because it's getting a lot of driving.
Right. Maybe John, let me give you a tip on this. This is something I learned from my China team few years back when I was doing this business with them. And they told me with regards to the tea, and they asked me this question. This could be very valuable for you, maybe in the future when you are doing a demo to
Uh-huh.
these people. And he asked me because they are already in Kangen and they were promoting it with the tea. And he says, Gary, do you know who are the parents of tea? Who are the father and mother of tea? And I was like, father and mother of tea. Is it the tree? Is it the whatever, the leaf or the seed? No, it's the water because you need water to make tea, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, so then it makes sense. So, when you
So
have a good parent, a good father and mother, the tea becomes the best tea in the world. So
Yeah.
this could be something you may want to put into your Chinese presentation for
Yeah.
tea.
Well, it's supposed to do a demonstration for
Yeah.
the world's biggest distributor of
Wow.
tea.
Wow.
And
Uh,
so
Chinese tea, Western tea, or
it's Chinese tea, but it's the
oh,
largest one in the world.
wow. Okay, okay. You may want to try this.
Yeah.
The
Where's the
father and
father?
mother of tea.
What's the father and mother of tea?
Yeah,
Okay,
water.
I'm definitely
Kangen
going to use that one.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, okay, John, you said you have been in Enagic for last 18 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah, me 14 years. So we have been around pretty long in Enagic, right? So we started during the time we call it the dinosaur age, without the internet and without Facebook, without YouTube. So, John, can I ask you a question? What do you think about what do you think about Enagic moving towards the internet era now? And how are you leveraging the internet for the Kangen business? Can you share some tips with us?
Yeah. Yeah, I started doing it with an internet group
Okay.
about 8, 9 months ago.
Okay.
And it's a as you know, it's a totally rewiring of your mind
Yeah.
because you're not talking about most of these guys. Like my friend did a demonstration for a group in New York,
Yeah.
and there was a girl that just became -3.
Right.
She saw the demonstration, says, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize the water did all this. It's got the microclustering." And it's like, are you kidding me? You're a
That's
dash
three.
three and you don't know this stuff? So these
Yeah.
people are all just talking about business, how to build a
Okay.
business, how you make money. And so that's kind of foreign to what you and I were taught
Yeah.
about giving people the water, letting them see the results.
That's true.
So but I think it's something that you can use both hand in hand. You got some people that want to try it, some people want to see more of the business and do that online. So
Okay.
now you have the best of both worlds where those guys just know about business. They don't know about the water and what it can do.
Right.
But I've tried, I guess I got so busy with Leslie and her group that I kind of put that on the back burner for a while. Um,
Right.
but I think that it's kind of the way things are going right now.
Mhm.
And I think it can be very helpful.
Right, right. So you are currently not into like the funnel systems and doing ads on Facebook or Instagram, that kind of thing. You are not doing that right now.
I was 7 months ago,
Okay.
up until about 5 months ago,
Okay.
where it's um m- where I'm basically just hammering away at
Right.
Kong and Water
Okay.
and doing so much traveling and
Right.
stuff like that. So but I think it will be something that I most likely will get back involved with.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Glad we'll definitely look forward to hear some good news from you on that.
Yeah.
Uh, John, based on your life experience as well as your business experience, what do you think the three very important character of a person who wants to see results just like you to be involved with Enagic? What do you think?
I think they have to be teachable and they
Mhm.
have to um, be good listeners.
Okay.
You know, I
Uh,
remember
yeah.
I'd never done network marketing before up until this company, really. And
Okay.
I just remember saying, okay, what do I do? What do I do? So, okay,
Right.
just give people water and a DVD. I'm like, oh, okay, that's easy. And again,
Right.
looking back on it, people really didn't watch the DVD. And if they're
Right.
not going to watch the DVD and they're not going to understand the water, if they're not going to understand the water, they're not going to want to drink with purpose. So I think either sitting down with them and watching it or
Okay.
doing the demonstration. So good example of that. I like to give this example. I had a woman call me up in Beverly Hills. Actually, her friend said, "Hey, I got a friend that's gonna wants to call you. She wants to get a machine." I'm like, "Okay, great." So she calls me up, and her name was Yvonne Niami, and she calls me up, says, "Hey, John." So we do the little chit chatter,
Mm.
back and forth, and then she says, "Okay, well, listen, I want to get a Conga machine." I said, "Okay, this is on Monday, but
Mm.
you got to you have to see a demonstration first." She's like, "Oh, okay. When can you do that?" I said, "How about Thursday?" And
Right.
she goes, "How about tonight?" And
She
I'm
wants
like,
it now.
yeah. I said,
Okay.
okay, how about 6 o'clock? Okay,
Okay.
great. So I drove over there. She's got
Okay.
this nice $20 million house, probably.
Okay.
And I said, hey, I set up in this beautiful kitchen. I said, hey, why don't you get your kids down here too?
Mm.
So no, most people, they get a
Okay.
person that wants to buy the machine. What do they do? Okay, hey, I'll send you the paperwork, fill it out, da da da
Right.
da. Okay, great. And the person gets the machine. They haven't seen a demonstration. They don't
Okay.
understand it. They don't know how it works.
Okay.
And they're kind of like, okay, I'm not, okay. And drinking the water maybe here a little bit in there.
Mm.
And that's all they got, right? So I do a
Right.
demonstration for this woman, and I finish, and she says, you know what? I don't want to get one. I want to get two now. She says, I want to get
Oh,
one for upstairs, and I want to get one for, actually, for one for here, and I want to buy my mom a machine.
okay.
I said, okay, well, she's got to see a demonstration. I said, okay. So I go do the demonstration for the mom, and
Right.
afterwards I say, do you have any health problems? She says, yeah, I got back pain. I got bad psoriasis.
Okay.
I go, oh, that'll be gone in 2 weeks. And she's
Right.
like, what? You know?
Are you
And
serious?
so yeah, she's having lunch with Yvonne two
Okay.
weeks later, and she goes, "Look, Yvonne, my psoriasis is gone. John was right." Da 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 da.
Ah,
So Yvonne calls me up. I listen. I want to buy one for my aunt. I want to get one for my dad. I said, "Okay, they got
wow.
to see a demonstration." So the dad do one for the dad, and he says, "Hey, listen, can you? I want to get my whole family. I want to get 14 people. Can you do a demonstration?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So then her aunt gets great results. Then her ex-husband buys one. He's the one that you ever heard of the Getty Museum?
J. Paul Getty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yes.
Okay. It's a big, huge,
Huge. Yeah.
big.
Huge.
So he
Super huge.
built that. He
Okay.
was in charge of building that.
Wow.
And he also built a $500 million house in Beverly Hills.
Whoa.
And they since have had to mark it down because they didn't build it at the right time. So I think they
Right.
sold it for like 250 million.
Okay.
But and that's some other expensive houses. And so the guy was kind of a jerk, but
Yeah.
he ended up buying the machine. So then she bought one for yeah, it was so funny because I
Ah,
do a demonstration that
okay.
I had another business deal I'm doing with her and her
Okay.
boyfriend
Okay.
with another friend, and I'm there, and she's like, okay, well, let's think about this. Now, in the meantime, John, I want to put Kong machines upstairs. And I said, okay. So she goes, oh, let's check out the sinks. So I get upstairs and I'm looking at these sinks and they got square faucets.
Wow.
Square
Designer.
faucets.
Designer faucets. Yeah.
And I'm
Crazy.
just like, oh man, there's no way. I'm thinking
Yeah.
to myself, there's no way this is gonna work. Da, 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 da,
Okay.
da. And my friend Justin looks at it. He goes, oh, you know what? You have to tear these out and just put new ones in. I mean, this is a $20 million house. I have to tear these out and put new ones in. She's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, okay. So I sold her a total of about, when all is said and done, she bought a new house, transformed that,
Right.
and she put shower units in all four bedrooms, and
Wow.
then she put Conga machines in all four bathrooms, and
Right.
then went downstairs. So I sold 21 machines to her. Now,
Whoa.
now the person who would have just said with the order, oh yeah, you send me the paperwork and I'll send it to
Right.
you.
Right.
That's it,
Just
you
one
know?
machine.
Right.
Yeah.
But I gave her really good service. I made
Wow.
sure she understood it. Told her the results she was going to get. She even bought one for this guy she was going to do this beauty product line with.
Okay.
And I do a demonstration for him up in North Hollywood. And he calls me up 2 weeks later crying on the phone. And he's crying, going, John, this is my dog. Remember, he came over, he couldn't walk. He's
Yeah.
running up and down the street with me. I'm going for a walk with him. It's that water.
Wow.
I got rid of his, now he can walk again.
Wow.
So, it's all about giving the good service. And that's how I got Leslie. That's how I got this person, because I make sure that I bend over backwards and
Wow.
that they hopefully will do the same thing when they're doing the business with their people too.
Right, right. So what you're saying, John, is that you make sure every time, whether they have bought or they have not bought the machine, you will still show the presentation so that they are very aware of what the water can do. Are you saying that?
Yes,
It's
very much.
amazing.
Yeah. Because I want them to eventually be uh, ambassadors of the water too. I want to
Right,
make
right,
sure that they're talking about it, that they're
right,
drinking as much as they can, and that they're
right,
getting results to tell other
right.
people about their results.
Right. So, John, I have one question for you because you come across as a person who is very knowledgeable. Even the fact that you are able to open by saying, "I help people to," how do you say that? I help people to
Reverse
reverse
degenerative disease,
degenerative
like,
disease like cancer and arthritis. But my question to you is, which a lot of people are having challenges. They are very good. Maybe they are good in sales. They are very good in technical knowledge, product knowledge. But the question is, how do you duplicate these things to your team members? Like, let's say to Leslie, or let's say to this very wealthy person. How do you duplicate this thing to your people?
um, I think it's just learning by experience, it's just
Okay,
by hands-on learning, whenever you learn any type of, whether it's a sport or whatever, you
right.
you pay attention to what the person's doing and how they're doing it. And I think I just really impress upon people that you got to bend over backwards and give people super good service. And they'll remember that, and because as you know, you're not selling Kangen water, you're selling yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
So you really want to sell yourself. And I say, be concerned with people's health and the money will come.
Right.
So don't think, oh, I got to make a sale. I got to make, JB Pacifico is a great example of this, right? I mean, he's
Mission
got,
first, then commission, right? Mission
yeah.
after commission. Yeah.
I mean, he went for five 5 weeks doing a demonstration, like 2 or 3 demonstrations a day, didn't make one sale.
Yes, that's true.
And then he sat back in his chair and he's like, man, I'm flat broke. Why am I not making any sales?
Right.
And he realized it's because I'm money hungry. I need the money so badly, people can sense it. And so he went out the next day and didn't made it so that he wasn't looking like he was desperate.
Right.
And he sold his first machine.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all about not being desperate, but being making them come to you and ask them questions. A lot of people have a fire hose of information. And I find myself doing it too sometimes, where you're
Right.
just like
Right.
you're so excited, you want to give them information, blah, 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 blah. But if
Right.
you just kind of posture yourself like, oh yeah, that's easy to get rid of. I mean, that's simple. We got the special stuff that'll get rid of that. What kind of
Right.
stuff is it? Oh, well. You might have heard of it, but this is actually amazing. What is it? Oh, this stuff is phenomenal. What is it?
Yeah. Keep them guessing, keep them
Yeah,
in suspense, right? Yeah.
exactly.
Thanks, John. That's an amazing advice from you. One question from Miss Locke from Hong Kong. I want to know what let me see. I want to know what will you share through social media. Let's say I'm sure you have some social media platforms, right? So you
Mhm.
share the lifestyle, business, or anything else. How you succeed through your online business? Like, okay, let's say we come into either your Instagram page or your Facebook page. What do you show? Are you a water person? Helping people to reverse their degenerative disease, or business person, or what would you want people to know you as?
Well, I've tried to do a TikTok channel,
Okay.
and I think over the last 10 years, Enagic has gotten very conservative as to what you put out there. And I
Yep.
just read an excerpt from a book saying
Yep.
from Alkalize or Die,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't use Kangen water, doesn't make health claims, anything,
Right.
but I just read the excerpt from the book and they wanted me to take it down, my whole
Right.
site down. And so I realized, you know what? I'm just gonna just do the lifestyle.
Right.
I
That's
think it
very
attracts,
neutral. That's very
yeah.
neutral.
And it attracts people who are more entrepreneurial because in
Right.
the end, do you want somebody that's that's going to get good health results trying to sell the machine, or do you want
Right.
somebody who's entrepreneurial that wants to do it as a business?
Right. Right. Interesting. Okay. So, Locke, for your question, the answer is very simple. The lifestyle thing, show them the lifestyle, because in America, especially, even in Malaysia, we are very strict on certain claims, especially health claims and things like that. Well,
Yeah.
that's perfect. My final question to you, John. Thank you. Your sharing has been super amazing so far. So,
So
what?
far, we still got a couple minutes to go, so it might be a bomb, but bomb after that.
John, if you have a chance to go back to day one, 18 years ago, with all that you know about Kangen, with all the strategy, all the tips, what would be one thing that you will do differently in your Energic business?
Oh, but by far, it would be doing the demonstrations for every single person, just like
Okay,
JB. If you look at JB Pacifico's success, he was doing 2 or 3 demos a day. And I
right.
think if I actually, instead of, hey, I'm gonna leave some water for you and some information, and they
Yeah,
get this jug of water and I got a DVD. They're like, I'm not gonna watch an hour DVD.
right,
Sip a little bit of this water. So
right,
by far, I would have lined up a demonstration at everybody's house that I was going to give. Because I tell people, don't give people the water unless they've seen a demonstration or at
right,
least seen it on video, so they have an understanding like, wow, this is special stuff. Because people think water is just water if you
right,
don't see a demonstration. So it would be doing it if I had done a demonstration because I was giving the water out to 25 people a week. And if
right.
I had seen a demonstration, I was just a what I mean, I'm filling up jugs in my kitchen left and right and running all over the place. But if I had shown them demonstrations, I would have been way further ahead I than I am now.
Wow. So it
But yeah,
still boils down to the presentation, right?
yeah. I mean, the presentation is so powerful because as my mom says, you have people, if you're just listening, you're retaining about 50%. If
Mm.
you're listening and seeing, that's another 10%.
Whoa.
If you're listening, seeing, and smelling, you're smelling that acidic water, that's another 8%. If you're seeing, listening, and also smelling and tasting the
Whoa.
tomato, that's another 8%. So you have
Right.
every single and touch and feel all these
Everything.
senses that go into this
Right.
that make it so powerful. And if you can, talk about Dr. Peter Agre and how he won the Nobel Prize for proving how this water hydrates the body
Right.
300% better than any other water,
Right.
and et cetera, et cetera. It's like the way I present it, it's like I got to get this machine. I mean, there's no other ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm saving money
Right.
too.
Have you ever come across people who say that this is too expensive?
Yeah. Yep.
And what's your response to that remark?
Well,
Right.
well, I think you try and break the cost breakdown of it. If you just tell them, if I just tell them it's $60 a month, you can't
Okay.
afford $60 a month,
Right. Right.
right? Because if they in the United States, if they put it on their credit card, it's no money down, and they're making payments of $60 a month.
Right.
And I say, but if you can afford $200 a month,
Hmm.
by the time your payments are up, you won't have to pay any interest on that money.
Wow. So yeah. So I guess you just need to break it down like how some insurance people actually show the plan is like maybe like 50 cents a day or something like that,
Yeah.
to have
Yep.
the protection that you need.
Exactly.
It's
And if
amazing.
you do the if you do the breakdown on over how much it costs for getting Aquafina, Dasani, Evian, Fiji,
Mm-hmm.
over 30 years, the cost savings is huge. Plus, you're also getting the disinfecting water, the cleaning water, and the beauty water.
Right.
So it's like, and then you kind of see, okay, yeah, it's going to be a little expensive the first 2, 3 years, but man, I got this machine for a lifetime. I mean, that's how I looked at it. But you're always going to have. I was just, I was just telling this story today.
Right.
This woman, she got phenomenal. I'll make the story short. She got phenomenal results, and I was trying to think of the sickest person that I knew. It was her. She
Okay.
got phenomenal results, and I was bringing the water once a month. And
Okay.
I said, okay. She's like, oh, John, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I said, okay, listen, Um, I got to take the machine back now, but my friend Daniel De Macaulay lives 5 minutes away. You can just get them. He said you can pick up the money and whenever the money, pick up the
The water.
water,
Yeah.
yeah, whenever you want. And she's okay. And then she calls me a month later, screaming and yelling at me,
Ah,
saying, "I wish you had never told me about this water." Blah, 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 blah. I'm
ah,
like, "Whoa, what's going on?" She says,
ah,
"Well, my arthritis is back.
ah,
The all the pain discomfort's gone. I'm back on my diabetes
ah,
medication." And
ah,
I said, "Well, wait a minute. You're taking diabetes medication again?"
ah.
"Yeah." I said, "Well, where are you going to pick that up at?" The pharmacy." I said, "Where's that?" "It's about 10 minutes away." I said, "So you'll drive 10 minutes for your pharmacy, but you won't drive 5 minutes to my friend Daniel to pick the water up?"
Okay.
And she's quiet. She's
Okay.
about 10 seconds. And then she says to me, "Well, I guess I could sell my gold Cougarant coins and buy it." What? You got the money and this gold is more important than you than your health?
Crazy. Crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
You have.
but some people don't, some people just are idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when it comes down to it, and some people are clear thinkers. It's like when very reasonable.
Right, right. So,
Like Trump, it's like what Trump talks about.
yeah,
It's just common sense.
right, right, right. We just need to do our part by telling what's the facts, right? I mean,
Yeah,
some get it, some don't. So what? Let's move on.
yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, John, thank you so much for today's session. A lot of people is so blessed from your sharing, and probably you never know. One day somebody is going to come up to you and say, John, on today, this date, I've heard your interview with Gary, and you have just changed my life. Thank you so much, John.
Thank
Any
you.
okay? Finally, any last words to the people who are listening here? Any last words that you want to motivate them? Like, how can they also be like you? What's your last word for them?
There's the sky's the limit for this. That's what I like about this company is that you can make as much money as you want with this, and there's no ceiling to it. Whereas if you worked a regular job, it's like okay, you're capped out at $80,000. With this, you can work where you want to, with who you want to, when you want to, and make as much as you want to.
Amazing. Thank you so much, John.